welcome back to my channel. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you. For the Zara cap that we'll be making, we are going to be making use of our raw silk, and raw silk stretch is a stretching material. Is a very nice material. Now we're going to be needing 2 pieces of fabric. This is for our base. For the length, we're going to be using 12 inches. That is, it is actually on fold, so if you open it, it will be 24 inches. For the breadth is 13 inches. Now for this one right here, that will be for the bow, the length is 50 inches and the breadth is 9 inches. Now let's look at what we are going to be using to give our Zara cap that structure that you usually see. We are going to be using the mako, and this mako you can get it from shoemaker's shop, where they sell shoemaker's material. Yes, so the measurement for this is 16 by 2.5. Now note, you can use more than 2.5, but for the design I'm going for, 2.5 is appropriate. In fact, in some cases you can use 4, but I think the general measurement for mako is 3 inches. But because of the structure that I want is not all that big, what my client wants, so I'm going to be using 2.5 inches for the mako. Now let's get to this is our base. This is the back of our silk. I'm going to be making this as simple as possible, so anybody that opens this video understands how to make the Zara cap. This is the back of my fabric. This is the back of my fabric. Because this is silk, I am going to be going to my sewing machine and I'm going to be folding it in twice. If you're actually using ashoke, this is not necessary, but because we are using Zara cap, or those because we are using silk does not really free, but just to be on the safe side, we are going to be folding it in twice. Now after folding it in, this is what we have. Now this is the back side of our fabric. Now you see this mark that I made right here, and this is just the midpoint of the fabric. Now you remember we used 24 inches, so on both sides we have 12 by 12. Now you see what I want to use, that on my mako as well, I already marked 12 inches. You are going to be placing your mako like this. Now what do you want to do? You want to go to your sewing machine now and you want to sew like this. This is the midpoint of your mako. This is the midpoint of your fabric. The length of the mako is 16. I can't remember if I mentioned it. Now you are going to go fold it over like so. Make sure that the fabric that will be remaining here is not really plenty. Please don't let it be too much, because we don't need it. So just take it in, just sew it on it like so, just a little bit of allowance, and ensure that it does not sew. You don't sew on the mako as well. So you're just going to take it to your sewing machine and then run stitches down like so. Don't let it sew your mako with the fabric, and just allow the allowance to be small. So I'll go back to my sewing machine now and just do that. This is what I have after sewing it. Now don't forget, this is our wrong side and this is our right side. The next thing we want to do now is that we want to flip it over to our right side like so. Now this is the sewing on the right side. What you want to do is you want to push that sewing to the back. I don't know if that makes sense. So it actually makes sense. You just need to watch the video. So just the way it is like this, start pushing it with your hands to the back. That sewed part, that part that we just finished sewing now. So you can take it from this place so as to help you, because we want to shift this sewing to the back. Don't forget, this is our front part. Now we are working with our front part now. So it can be a bit difficult when you start, but eventually it gets better. Now can you see it's already moving to the back? So I'm still going to push it a little bit more. So at this point, this is what I have pushed in, and I think I'm okay with that. This is around half an inch. You can actually still push it inside if you want, but this is what the front of your cap should be looking like right now. So now what do you want to do next? We are going to go over to our sewing machine now, and we are going to be joining both sides together. Please, when you want to join this both sides, ensure that you join it in a way that it is what we pushed inside is also reflecting. Like, don't sew it like this, but sew it like so. Do you understand? That part that the pleating, a bit the pushing inside that we did, we also reflect on it. Now I'm going to go over to my sewing machine now, and I'm going to be joining both sides. Now when I'm joining both sides, I am not going to sew it straight, just like we usually make our turbans slanted for most, or not all turbans anyway. For the normal basic turban, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be sewing it like this, and I'm going to be slanting it towards this corner right here. This is what I have after sewing. Can you see? I didn't sew it straight, I slanted it a little, and then just like normal. Now I'm going to be trimming our excess fabric off. This is what I have after trimming, and don't forget this is our back side. At this point, this is what the front of your Zara cap should be looking like. Can you see? It's looking like what you usually see, right? Now the next thing we want to do is to make this our back knit. You can do two things. If you have is it said, what do they call this thing? This overlocking machine. To overlock it, you can. But based on the fact that I do not have, what I use is I use my bias tape to cover this part like so. I'm going to be sewing both sides together with my bias tape, and I'm going to be turning it. So that's what I'm going to be doing to this part, to make sure that it is knit. This is what I have after using my bias tape to turn the ends of the Zara cap. Now what do we want to do? Just like we usually do for our turbans, we want to gather it round. Now just after this part that goes into the head, just leave a little bit of maybe like half or 1 inch, and then you're going to gather all the way around. So after that, we're going to tack it very well. And also, we are done with the base of our Zara cap, and this is what we have. Can you see? Looking so beautiful and everything. So the next thing we want to work on is our bow. Now this is the wrong side of the fabric. This is the right side of the fabric. I'm just going to be folding it over like so. I'll fold it over. Don't forget our measurement. Our measurement is 9 inches by 50. Now unfold, both will be 4.5 by 25. What do I want to do? I want to make this part to be just circle in nature, or I don't know, not to be as sharp as this. So I'm just going to take my scissors, and I'm going to just be doing just like you're seeing me doing the video. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'm removing the sharp part, and that is what we have. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be taking over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to be sewing it down because we want to gather it, to make gathering it easy. If you feel that you can go ahead and gather it without joining both, we folded it, you can do that, but I'll be sewing mine to ensure that it's easy for me to handle. This is what I have after sewing it around. So I made stitches. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be making gathers around it from one end to the other end. Now after tacking it like so, we are going to be twirling it, I don't know, just something like this, and that is as simple as it looks. Trust me, I just took it. Now this is what we gathered, and then I this is the down part. I brought this on top, and then that's it. We have our rose. And after we have it something like this, I'm going to be, to secure it, I am going to be running my thread and my needle in between it. It's advisable that you use a big thread and needle to make your work easy. Just make sure that the needle is getting to all layers of the bow. And there we have it. You are going to be using this rose like this. You have to tack it down, but because I'm going to be attaching it on the Zara cap, and I'm still going to secure it more on the Zara cap, so this is just okay to hold everything in place. The next thing we want to do is we want to attach our bow to our Zara cap. Now I'm going to look at both sides. You can make any of the sides the front. So I'm going to look at both sides and see, I think I prefer this place. So I'm going to be doing my placement, how I want it to look on the Zara cap, and I love it the way it is looking. So now to tack it down, you can start, I'll prefer that you start from this inside here, because why, you're still going to be covering this part with rose or flower, whatever as it may be. As much as possible, try and avoid sewing on this line, this seam line here, because why, your clients may need to adjust their cap, and if there's need, they won't have to remove the bow to adjust it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sewing it round. So when you are sewing here, you are just going to be doing pinches. You will not make it big, but outside there, because there's going to be a rose there, you can just go out, you can make big lips. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Once you are sure that you are okay with the stability of the bow, take it out from this place again and tack it. If you are not okay, you can continue tacking, but just ensure that it looks good. Thread is not showing, or where you have worked, can you see, is not showing. And even this inside, as much as this is inside, we want it to still be neat. Do you understand? At this point, this is what we have. This is what we have now. This is our Zara cap. Beautiful. You can decide to fluff out your bow. I just decide to fluff it out, fluff, 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 fluff. Yeah, I like this. So now, after you have fluffed it out, or you just leave it the way it is, the next thing we want to do is, because remember that we still have this place here, we cannot leave it like that. You can decide to embellish it with whatever you want to embellish it with. You can make rose with the fabric, but then I bought a rose from the market. Now this was what I bought, but then I embellished it to become like this. I just added stones to it. So I'm going to be adding, I don't know if I should add one or I should do two. What do you think I should do? By the time you are seeing this video, you'd have seen what I actually put there, because I'll be delivering the work. I don't know, I'm thinking I should put two. I should embellish this other one too and put two. So I'll be dropping a video, if I've not dropped it, on how to neatly embellish it. Can you see any gums? No, you can't see any gums. So and I didn't do it with any stone picker. I did it with just my hand. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys always for tuning in. Bye bye.